Welcome back to Buckeye, Arizona in the Royal Crown. I'm Amy Wilson. We just finished the all-ages calf open. A big congratulations to Kalai Nobriga.
Thank you.
Winning about $8,000. That's impressive, especially considering there were only 13 entered, so that's a nice day.
Yes, it was a really good day.
And it's not over yet. You're entered in the next calf open coming up. We'll talk about that. But first, let's talk about getting this win and the horse that you were riding, kind of the history there. And he does multiple events. Tell us all about him.
So he was a cutter. He's got some won in the cutting, and then I bought him some from friends in California, Ken and Vicky Cook, and started roping on him, and he's been doing really well for me. I actually just started heading on him as well about 3 weeks ago, and he'll run barrels as well.
And tell us his name and how he got that.
I call him Tony. He got it because when I got him, he walked around like a llama with his head in the air, so I called him Tony Llama.
I love that story. Let's take a look at Tony the Llama, and we'll start in round number 1 here in the calf open. So you were, let's see, this was all based on time. So you were at 15.14 in this round. That was actually 6th in the round, but take us through this run. The calves were a little big and strong. What do you think?
So I felt like he did good. I drew a good calf. I just didn't turn him around, and I had to get it off the ground. Otherwise, I felt like my horse was strong and did his job. He was good in the corner and can't complain.
Yeah, we're getting to take another look at it here. And you did all the calf open training on him?
Yes, I did.
You have to be proud of this.
Yeah, he was sharp and like he did what he's supposed to do.
You said he has a big personality too, right?
Huge, too much personality. Like, it'll drive you crazy.
We see Haven Medjid dominated round number 1. He picked up 750 for winning that round with a 1063 on Hard to Be Humble. And good job to the top 5 there in round number 1. Let's take a look at round 2. And you came back and won this round. You were at 10.55. Take us through this one.
I drew another good calf. My horse felt good. Everything worked out. Just tried to not make any mistakes and just told myself get them all caught.
I think that's a good way to look at it, is just no mistakes. We all often hear, you know, smooth is fast and all of that. This open different than the others that we've been seeing because it's not judged. It's all based on time.
Yes.
Any other thoughts on this run?
Oh, yeah, I just was fortunate to draw some good calves, and my horse did his job to make mine easy.
Yeah, definitely. He did do a great job there. Let's take a look at the results. This is round 2 of the all-ages calf open. 750 to first place. That was you. Then Haven Medjid was second on Hard to Be Humble, a 10.75. You see Haven again in 4th there in that round. So it was 2 rounds and a short, so it came down to the short round. You were 3rd high call, and there was a little bit of drama in the short round because you ended up moving up to 1st from 3rd high call because of this run. Tell us about this one.
This was probably the strongest calf I drew. I just tried to get through him and got it done, and he didn't want me to tie him at first, but got it tied up and just had to sit around and wait to see what happened with the next 2 guys.
Would you have ever guessed that it would turn out that way? I mean, I know you were hoping it would.
Well, I was glad after that I was going to get a check because I knew I was going to be 3rd at least.
Yeah.
And then I didn't expect to have Haven have a bad draw, and it got up on him. So I got lucky and it worked out for me.
Yeah, obviously you never wish bad on anyone, but when it works out in your favor, it's always exciting to get the win and extra money won. A 14.21 there in the short round. And so this is how it all looked in the short round. The 2 that did not place in the average, who had the fastest times in the short round, one had a broken barrier, one had some tough luck in the pin, and they were both 22.45. So Bryce Bott and Justin Brinkerhoff ended up splitting the $500 in the short round, so $250 each for them. Then we're going to take a look at the average and how it all worked out. So keep in mind, this was open. Anyone could enter this calf open, so they paid it on an average for anyone, and then they also had the majority of the money in the Royal Crown side pot. We'll look at that next, but first we saw where you won $2,000 for winning the average. This is the side pot. This is where the big money was. So $52.50, that includes the owner pay and the stallion pay. They each got a couple $100. So great job, Beretta's Bamacat, Tony getting the win. And Haven Medjid was second on Senorita's Holly time, a 40.66 on 3 head for 31.50. Bryce Bott 2100 for 50.01 on Buddy's Lucky Aces. So great job to all those guys, the breeders, the owners, everyone involved. And as I mentioned, when it was all totaled up, about $8,000 for you. And I said at the beginning, only 13 entered. This is something I talked with Shelby Medjid about too, is the calf roping and the breakaway. I feel like we're just starting to see more horses getting involved and people really getting into the futurity side of things. But this was a great opportunity where they opened it all up but had so much money on the Royal Crown side. What are your thoughts about today?
I think it's great. It's a great roping to be in. I know it's still small in the tie down. So it looks like the breakaway is growing a lot faster, but I think if you have a Royal Crown horse or you're wanting to get another one, it's definitely worth looking for a Royal Crown bred horse for these great payouts.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm curious for more details. You took a horse that was a finished cutter and you trained him to be a calf horse, but a friend of yours also runs barrels on him. How has that whole process been?
Oh, he's just a little shithead, and he takes it all really well. Like, I think the more you do on him, the better he is. I chickened out. I almost entered him in the head-in over here, but I ended up not doing it. I just figured I'd get him prepped for the calf roping.
Yeah, you should have entered.
I should have.
It's a lot of money to be won there, too.
There was.
Tell us more about your story, where you're from, how you got involved roping calves.
I'm from Kona, Hawaii, and I grew up on a ranch. My family's ranch, roped there my whole life, and a couple years ago got an opportunity to move over here and do some rodeos, and now I got some horses I can take to these Royal Crown shows, and it's been great.
How often do you get to go back home?
I like to go home a lot, but I haven't been able to just because I've been between rodeos, horse shows, taking care of everything else. It's been 2 years since I've been back home.
Oh, wow. Hawaii is so amazing. I can't wait to go back someday. Yes. I had a lot of fun when I visited over there. There's another roping coming up. You have a couple entered. One's a Royal Crown, one's not. It's also open to any. Tell us about those two horses you'll be riding.
So they're both 6-year-olds. One, I did well on her here last year in the 6 and under. She's by Once in a Blue Boon. And the other one, he's actually born and raised back in Hawaii. A good friend of mine raised him back there. I showed him in the cow horse a little bit, and this will be his first roping ever.
Oh, wow. What are your expectations there?
You know, he's a great horse. He's been a good horse for me to show in the cow horse, and he might be a little green. As of yesterday, he has 10 calves tied down on him. So we'll see how things play out.
10 calves total?
Yes. I breakawayed a bunch on him, and then it was hard to do the cow horse and get him prepped to rope, so he just did the cow horse. My last show I did on him was November, and then after that I got a little more serious about the roping, and so as of yesterday he's got 10 tied down on him.
So after today he'll have 13.
After today he'll have 13. Hopefully I get them all caught.
Yeah, no, you will. You got this. It'll be good. With that being said, this is such a cool opportunity then for you. You are close by, right?
Yes, I'm not far from, I'm about an hour and a half from here now in Santan Valley.
Yeah, what do you think about living here?
It's a great place to be in the winter. There are like 3 months that it feels terrible, but other than that, it's a great place to be.
Yeah, you mentioned your one horse came from Hawaii. What does it take to get a horse from Hawaii here or the other way around?
So I've had him since he was probably 2 over here. He flew over on a plane as a 2-year-old, and it's pretty simple. They just get in a box with 3 other horses and the dividers in between, like a trailer, and fly over and land in LA.
Really? And what's the expense? Do you have any idea?
It's about $37.50 now, I believe, one way.
Very interesting. I find all of that very interesting about how it all works and what it takes to make it all happen.
Yeah.
Well, any final comments on winning this and getting to be here today and the amount of money you've already pocketed?
Oh, no, I'm just glad to be here, and it's a great event. I encourage more to do it.
Yeah, well, thanks for coming up. It was fun to visit with you. That's Kalai Nobriga. He just won the calf roping, the Royal Crown side pot, and the average, about $8,000. He'll rope again coming up in just a little bit. We can't wait to watch that. The All Ages Breakaway is going on right now. If you'd like to watch it, it's live and free on roping.com, and we'll be back with that winner coming up.